Okay, so today what we are going to do is I'm going to tell you how to associate shared object repository to QTP manually and by automation. So as you can see, I have opened one test. Whose name is Object Repositories Collection. Now, if I go to Object Repository of this test, you will see that for this action one, there are no objects in the object repository. Okay, so I'll close this. Now what I have to do is that I have to associate object repository to this test, and I can attach shared object repository. So for that I need to create a shared object repository first. So I'll go to another test where I have some objects. In that test I will create a file out of these objects. I'll go to the object repository of this QTP add test. Now there are this many objects in this test. What I will do is I will create export local objects which will create a TSR file here. Say abc.tsr. I'm going to save it in D programs QTP and close this. Now what I have done here is that I have created a shared object repository. Its name is abc.tsr, and that tsr file will contain this many objects. So now I will go back to my main test, that is object repository collection. So here you can either attach it manually or at runtime. First I will show you how to attach the shared object repository manually. Go to the object resources, then associate repository. There is an option there, associate repositories. Click that option. Here you have to click on plus button and select abc.tsr, that tsr file that we have just created. .tsr is nothing but it stands for test share repository. So here you have to select all the actions to which we want to associate this object repository and click on OK. Now if I go to the object repository of this test, I'll see these objects, and these are shared object repositories from abc.tsr. Okay, if I go to local objects, there will be nothing. So this is how we can attach a shared object repository to the test manually. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this shared object repository. Yes. Now the same task I can do at runtime. So as you can see, there is a code. I want to attach CD programs. I had saved that test in D drive, programs, QTP, and this abc.tsr. So I need to give this path in the test. /abc.tsr. So this is the repository that we want to associate at runtime. Now repository collection is the object that is provided by QTP, which with the help of which we can add, remove the object repositories at runtime. So there is one method add, and we pass the parameter. It takes the parameter as the repository path, full path of the repository. When we execute this statement, automatically all the objects from this shared object repository will be come into the visibility of this test, and the test can use objects. So I have used these objects from the repository at runtime and then perform the operations. So again I will show you the object repository. It should be I need to save this first of all. Resources, associate repositories, associate repositories, action 1. Yes. Okay, I'll save this. Now if you go to the object repository, there are no objects at all. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this program. After I run it, all the objects will be added to the test. Now again, if I go to the object repository, see all the objects that were from abc.tsr were added into the repository at runtime. Thanks.